Hi, I'm Gus McLennan, Market Development Agronomist with Bayer, and we're here today in Temora in southern New South Wales looking at Mateno Complete in its use patterns in wheat. Mateno Complete is a new herbicide which contains three modes of action: a clonophen, which is a new mode of action to Australia, peroxysulfone and diflufenican. The combination of these three actives provide broad spectrum grass and broadleaf weed control across two different use patterns: IBS incorporated by sowing in wheat and barley, as well as early post-emergence use patterns in wheat only. Mateno Complete is a unique formulation combining three modes of action from three different active ingredients. These active ingredients complement one another through their different pathways of uptake, which are root uptake from peroxysulfone and also coleoptile and leaf uptake through a clonophen and diflufenican. Together, these three actives provide long-lasting weed control with residual extending into the season, as well as benefits of getting weed control when used in the early post-emergent phase across the furrow, as well as a new benchmark for ryegrass control. With Mateno Complete's two registrations in wheat, incorporated by sowing can be used to optimise grass weed control in particular, but one of the limitations with the IBS use pattern is the displacement of treated soil out of the furrow, which can result to weed escapes which compete directly with the crop. On the other hand, the early post-emergent use pattern has a strong benefit in that it covers both the furrow, the interrow and the shoulder of those furrows, resulting in complete control across the soil profile. The key to achieving the highest level of weed control and the longest residual is to apply Mateno Complete in the early post-emergent phase as soon as possible. So from the 2 leaf of the crop and from 1 to 2 leaf of the weeds, but ideally prior to weeds of germinating as well. This will result in the crop being able to compete actively with those early weeds and optimising that moisture and nutrient profile. Weed size and environmental conditions play a key role also in achieving this high level of weed control. Targeting small weeds with good moisture will result in the highest level of efficacy across a spectrum of grass and broadleaf weeds. So in this replicated trial here in Temora, we're sowing knife point press wheel wheat, and the target species of weeds we're looking at are toad rush, annual ryegrass, volunteer canola and Indian hedge mustard, which are all prolific through this area. In addition to looking at IBS application versus early post-emergent application, this trial also examines the differences between existing products that are already in the market to that of Mateno Complete. Also scattered throughout the trial is volunteer canola, which was spread prior to sowing to demonstrate Mateno Complete's broad spectrum control in comparison to existing products. The major observations in this trial is that there are some big differences between the different treatments and the level of weed control they give across a spectrum of weeds. When it comes to comparing the Mateno Complete IBS treatment versus the early post-emergent treatment, grass and broadleaf weed control has been very high in both. However, with the early post-emergent treatments being applied 4 to 5 weeks after the IBS, we're seeing that in this wet season, that longer residual is really benefiting, particularly in the terms of control on a weed such as toad rush, which germinates throughout the season. And if we look at the in-furrow weed control from those two treatments as well, you can see that in the IBS, there are a few ryegrass plants and the odd volunteer canola germinating in the furrow, whereas where we've applied it in the early post-emergent section, that weed control is complete right across the furrow and the interrow. So by utilising Mateno Complete's three modes of action, either in combination with other chemistry or in rotation with other chemistry, and adopting the Weed Smart's Big 6 weed management strategies will go a long way to ensuring longevity of chemistry into the future. From 2022, Mateno Complete will offer farmers a powerful tool against grass and broadleaf weeds when used IBS in wheat or barley, or early post-emergence or disc seeders in wheat only.